all crypto nation and mining family. What's going on out there? What up, what up, what up? What's going on, all you happy hashers, as you guys are sliding on in here? Certainly smash that lizardy like button. You guys know what to do. Share this out on your favorite social media. You know, get the word out. Be the notification that YouTube refuses to do for us. You know how it goes, guys. Yo,
Thanks.
and we got my dude over here, Mikkel, and myself, Nemesis. If you are new here, of course, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. What's up? So, how are you, Mikkel? I know you're just getting home and you're not having a pleasant, welcoming home after work. You were explaining. I'm like, oh god, that sucks. But other than that, how was your day?
I see it, man. Just got back to the house and feeding the baby, which is why the camera is currently off. For anybody's curious, the baby's in my hands. I don't put it on camera.
Right. No
my
doxing the
camera
baby.
is off. The wife does it enough for the both of us. Yeah.
Too funny. So, have you
today? Did you work today?
No. I was off. I enjoyed the day off. I worked a lot. I put in almost 50 hours this week.
Nice. Very nice. I put in about, it was like 42 this week.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, I'm pretty tuckered out, that's for sure. And then I was doing, messing with chickens today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be doing. Today was my lazy day. I was gaming a little bit today. I was playing some Frostpunk, a little like survival builder game. It's definitely a mind suck. It's a time suck. It's what it is.
Right on. Yeah, never heard of it.
Man, have you heard about the new Lenovo handheld device?
No, I haven't.
So, Lenovo is coming out with the Legion Go to feature the Ryzen Z1 APU in it.
Interesting.
Right.
Definitely more powerful than Steam Deck.
Right. So, I'd be curious to see how this thing mines. I mean, that's just where my mind initially goes. And then, like, how is it that, how well will it stand up against, like, other handhelds that, that have already been out, because you got the Asus, you got the Steam Deck, so it's like, where does this one kind of nestle in at? It looks like I mean, from the renderings, it looks like from the sides, it's got that how can I put it? It's more like a condensed variation of the Steam Deck. Maybe the same size screen, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it still should be able to fit your hands really nicely. But the one thing that I like about the Legion, though, is it's got a bigger backplate opening to allow more air to be pulled into the fan. So it's like, how much more performance are you going to get out of it if it actually has a better cooling solution out of it, especially if you're mining on it.
Lenovo Go. I like it.
Right, right. I do too. I happen to like it. Uh, it looks thin through the screen section too. So it's like I wonder what the battery life is going to be on that thing too. Um, how quickly is it going to be before you have to replace the battery? Like the Steam Deck, I've already got to replace the battery on it. That battery doesn't take a charge at all.
Oh no. From looking at the renders that they have right here, the your joysticks are gonna be like a Switch. If you scroll through it, they're fully
Right,
detachable.
and I was like, and I was thinking that's what it looked like, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in the final release that it will completely separate, or but it does look like it has a release button on it.
If they do on both of the joysticks, so it looks like they will probably let you pull them off. I mean, even in one of the renderings towards the bottom, they show it as them holding the joysticks, like so. Not
Right.
them, the joysticks are not attached any longer, which would give you that feel. Plus, if you look at the very last picture, they have the AR glasses with it. So using the AR glasses and the joysticks would be the way to go. If you're
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's strong enough. The APU is more than capable enough to run like AR.
I'm actually kind of like interested in seeing how this one is.
Even like the Asus Ally is pretty nice too. It's just that it's running, and it's running a Zen 4, which is decent. It's still technically a Ryzen Z1. Technically, it's just I think it should be the same chip. They're both running Zen 4 RDNA 3, so they're probably running a similar, if not the exact same APU. Well, looks like the Ally comes in 2 different variants. You got an 8-core or a 6-core version.
Right, right.
But even the Ally is stronger than the Steam Deck. External graphics cards for that. Not external, but internal. But not relying on just the APU.
Right.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Whenever I saw this, I was like, you know what? That is kind of cool. If anybody gets to one of these, I would certainly love to see it mine some Monero and get some data off of it, temperatures and stuff like that while mining on some Monero, and that would be awesome. I mean, can it beat my my Galaxy 8, phone of 468 hash a second?
Probably. I guarantee. I didn't even try it on my phone. I refuse to use the new phone for it.
My new phone gets 732.
I have the newest Snapdragon.
Right, yeah. I'm like a few generations behind you now.
Before I was like multiple generations behind you.
Yeah, because I'm on the 10.
I went from the 8 to the 20.
Right, you're like, hey, I'm going to get the new one. Nice.
I skipped quite a few generations before I finally decided to get a new phone. I was like, well, I have to get a new phone at this point.
At that point, like you can get a new potato variation of a phone, and it's going to be like a bazillion times snappier than your old phone.
Oh, for sure. That's why whenever I did the trade up program, right when the 23 came out, they were offering like $600 if you trade in your old paid off phone, and I was like, bet. I was like, I will never get $600 out of this phone. I will gladly trade this thing in to get more than half of my phone paid, like 100%. And they were like, "Oh yeah, your phone qualifies," and I said, "Yeah, it does. I did all the research. I'm not a dummy. It
You're like,
qualified, and I was like all for it." And he was like, "He goes, that's a pretty good deal, man." He goes, "You waited a long time," and I said, 100%. I said, and I honestly probably wouldn't have even done it if I wouldn't have been able to trade my phone in for like like $600+.
right.
I was like, I still probably would have stuck with the phone. I was like, but I couldn't beat the deal. I was like, I'll never be able to sell this phone for that amount of money. So I'm gladly gonna take it.
I know it's like I was looking at a new toolbox, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I looked at the guy, and I'm like, let me guess, 10 grand. He's like, almost. I was like, ouch. And I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm like, that box over there, I paid like 4 grand for it. He's like, you want that box you're looking at right there? I'll give you 4 grand for that box. I was like, oh. It's like, oh.
I think
It's like, you made me think about it. You suck.
I was gonna say no, but
it's like, it's so easy to outgrow a toolbox.
He dropped it and the back of the phone cracked. Dang, the back of the phone too. I mean, S9s didn't have glass yet. Not even my phone has glass. I think they only did that for like the 20.
They still splinter though.
Dropped it from 30 feet though. Wild. That's so functional. It was coming out over again. At least I got a new phone.
Yeah, I swear by the cases. Otterbox for the win.
Yeah. I usually run the UAG cases. UAG cases have never failed me. I'm not running a UAG case on my new phone though because they were stupid expensive. They were like $80+ for the 23.
It's like, that's the
And I
only
was
reason
like-
why my phone survived. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Otterbox for the win.
Otterbox will save,
It's
man.
not a sponsor, but they could
Nope.
if they wanted to. I would be good about that.
Otterboxes and UAG are the way to go. Otterbox is probably on the top tier though.
Oh yeah, I usually, whatever phone I get, I grab what the best like armor looking, anything that like just envelops the screen. I'm like, I don't want nothing to ever touch that screen.
It drops. I don't want it to even come close to touching the floor.
Right.
Unicorn beetle is good too. Never heard of the unicorn beetle. Yeah, Otterbox for the win, probably. I just never really cared as long as they're really chunky.
Yeah.
UAG is just about the same now, compared to like what it used to be. It's like a massive case. Like I said, it was like $80, and I was like, ooh. The flip shattered though, and that's cheap plastic.
Right,
Oh,
right. I'd
right.
rather have to get a new back on there, a new backing plate for the pocket mount than actually lose the whole phone. That's probably one of the things that helps made your phone survive.
Probably. The anxiety is always when you drop your phone and then you
Oh
watch
my
it
god.
bounce and it lands on the face and you're like, well, are we gonna flip it over and is it gonna be shattered or we're gonna flip it
We're
open and get
playing
all the
we're
way back?
playing dice right now. Come on, come on, no, come on, come on, come
50-50
on.
chance.
Oh, we're good.
It's like, and we're good. $12 to get 2 belt clips for it. Yeah, worth it. Worth it if it saves the phone from being destroyed.
Right.
Like a $12 loss all day long.
Got to make sure you're DCAing into your product safety at all times.
That, and I don't know if any of y'all know, but if you have AT&T, they sell like screen protectors, like the really good ones. And if they're the AT&T ones, they have free replacements for like life, as long as you register with them. The wife's already replaced like fucking 3 of them,
uh,
and she just literally walks into AT&T and they just literally put a new one on it, and she walks right out.
that's awesome.
It was the best thing ever. And it's like the glass screen protector, so like it will shatter before your screen shatters.
Right.
But yeah, she's went through like 3 of them already, and we haven't paid nothing.
You know,
$0
since I got my phone, I've actually never done the peel on the front face.
Nice. I usually let mine go as long as it can.
Oh God, I mean, you've seen me
I
go
dropped my
down to
phone
your
8 to
place
10
with this
feet at
phone.
least
How
twice a
many
week.
times I've been
Please.
down to your place a bunch of times with the phone, and I mean, it goes everywhere
Yeah.
with me. It's gone into different countries with me, and it's like just a little corner right here. It's just after all these years, start to peel up. Talking about like something just like something small popping up here. Did you see the 7900 GRE?
Yeah.
Does anybody know what the GRE is? GRE, Golden Rabbit Edition. Man, you just can't make this up. It's kind of funny. So it's the RTX 7900 Golden Rabbit Edition.
I see it at the bottom of my screen. I'm gonna walk away, but I have my headphones on so I can hear you.
All right.
I gotta change diaper.
All right. So, according to a report from China, Sapphire has already taken steps to lower the price of the 7900 GRE, despite the card having been launched just a month ago. The reference model and the custom Nitro Plus series from Sapphire are now available at reduced prices. The price revisions is relatively modest, representing a 4% decrease. The original price of the reference model, which stood at about 727 USD, has been revised to 699. Additionally, the Nitro now retails for just a little bit down from that. So we're looking at about 754 USD after their price drop for the Nitro Plus. But just to note that these are going to be Chinese editions. So if you have a trusted and verified vendor that you can deal with, you might be able to get your hands on these legitimately. Otherwise, it was not really intended to leave China, nor was it really intended to be like outside of pre-builds. They were never really intended for the DIY market. So it just kind of depends on how you're able to get your hands on it, if you're able to get your hands on it. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the stat. Yeah, they haven't released any stats for the Golden Rabbit editions yet, but they're at least showing them in their product stacks now with an actual naming on there instead of just being a patent number. Like I say, whenever I'm looking at this stuff, guys, I see all the patent numbers that they're pulling for this stuff, but until they actually greenlight it, they pull more patents than they actually produce cards at times. So it's ridiculous to sit there and just go through every patent that they grab for every GPU product stack that they do. So it's just easier to just wait for them to actually, some kind of a leak and actually having a name being associated with that patent number finally. And that's where we're getting the 7900, the 6750. Yes, I said it. 6750 also is going to be a Golden Rabbit edition, and we do not have, again, any real stats on the Golden Rabbit editions. But we know that XFX, Sapphire, and Power Color are going to be with the 7900 GREs. We'll have to see who's all going to be coming out with the 6750 GRE, and see where it actually hits in the product stack. If anybody's able to get their hands on this stuff, that would be pretty cool.
Says the 7900 GRE is on AMD's website.
It is on AMD website?
What Payne says. Actually, why do they call it GRE? I don't know if you said it.
It's the Golden Rabbit edition. Hold on here.
Payne just posted the link.
Oh.
It's on their website. I mean, it doesn't look like it's for sale, but they do have it listed on the website.
Is that about as far as they go? All right.
Let's think of like the full details. Oh, dude, I just changed it. Don't poop again.
Let's see here. 260 watt, 80 compute units, base frequency 1270, game frequency 1880, boost up to 2245 if you're hammering on that sucker. Let's see here. So at least they've got some information on this stuff. So that's got to be weird. It's like I'm almost gonna. People are gonna almost have to see how this thing performs in order to really catch a. How does it fall into the 7900 product stack? Because let's see here. Because if I go over to the to the 7900 XTX, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Now we got. So it's going to be hitting in as like the base model of the 7900s. 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 versus the XT having 20 gigabytes and the XTX has 24 gigabytes. Yeah, it's just like a slightly nerfed card, and they're going to call it the Golden Rabbit Edition. I mean, if the price is right and you can get a legit one, not bad. It's RDNA 3, that is for sure, James. Are Chinese models infused with spyware? Bro, they're all coming from China. Well, Taiwan. So it's not really China. So, but they're for their GPUs going to China, it's just earmarked for their market exclusively. They don't have to deal with international shipping and all that stupid stuff. A lot of the there's a lot of GPUs that really never make their way out of China. They just kind of stay in there because they're like really niche kind of cards because it's all about the artwork versus the actual functionality of the card itself. Yeah, we'll have to see how that all works out with that. For sure, Tech Man. Like, if China takes over, will they infuse all their stuff with spyware? Probably. Who says that the U.S. government isn't having Taiwan already do that? So, I mean, if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, I'm just saying. It's all the GPUs have AI built into it, you know, and it can recognize. It has voice recognition built into the card, right in software. So, yeah, they can do all that sort of stuff either way. I'll pick and choose my battles. I mean, shoot. I mean, you know, phones and stuff. Yeah. Talking about, you know, a legend, you know, something that I wish I could get at I wish would have ever been
I'll
made.
literally be at AFK for like, I don't know how long. The baby just like literally threw up fucking everywhere. So I'm like covered in parts. So I'll be away for a minute.
All right, dude. Have kids, they say. It'll be fun, they say. Input reality. All over you. And you're like, yeah, they lied. But one thing that I wished that I could get my hands on that has never been released, and there's only a prototype of the PCB, which would be the GTX 1080 Kingpin GPU, non-TI, just a regular 1080 Kingpin. So there was prototyping for it, and it just never came around. But it may appear that there was a considerable amount of time that had passed for sure. But in less than a year since EVGA officially announced its departure from the GPU market, the announcement that shook the industry, of course, the enthusiast by a surprise, but the GPU landscape has not changed significantly. Other companies took off where EVGA left. Even though EVGA had developed a prototype of the RTX 4090 GPU, this model never saw the light of day in retail form when they decided to exit the GPU business. You know, so we're going to be seeing some of the, like, I've seen some of the prototypes being given around. Like, I think Jay's 2 Cents has one of the prototypes. I'm not sure if Gamers Nexus has one also. But, you know, it's like, it would be interesting to have like some of the memorabilia like this, like the the prototype PCB for the 1080 Kingpin, even though there's no modules soldered to the board, it's just like wall art. I mean, at the end of the day, that is complete wall art. Non-functional, no hashes to it, just looks amazing. Signed by Vince, who is Kingpin. So, fortunately, I won't be able to get my hands on it. I'm not. We're not cool enough. We're just plebs over here. It's all good. It's all good. And for some of the stuff that I've been kind of looking into, because like I've been trying to figure out how I can get some data metrics for like mining and stuff, right? Something that I haven't seen a tool be able to track how a particular card is being hammered in performance wise and see what's going on, right? So there is an open source software called PresentMon. So you got CapFrameX already working on an update featuring new PresentMon. And this can give you some of the CPU versus GPU bottlenecks. So you can see what's actually going on. Since this popped up onto my radar a little bit, I'm kind of curious to see if I could set this up, let it run, and mine, and will it give me data in the same way, or is it going to be looking for game only? So I got to see how this is. The way that the GUI looks on there, it doesn't look like it has to be a game. It's just going to look at the actual performance of workloads. And if that's the case, oh my God, there's a lot of data sets in here. And you'd be able to sit there and more accurately pinpoint, oh, why is it mine like garbage on here? And actually be able to tell, oh, wow, it's because I'm bottlenecking here, or I'm bottlenecking over here. Maybe my overclock is a little too aggressive, and you can tone it down and get your CPU and your GPU load to be more balanced with each other, and you'll actually be able to get more efficiency back if everything is in more unison balance. It's not going to be like that all the time. We all know that everything's kind of choppy anyway. But if we could sit there and just have them where they kind of overall the CPU and GPU load will be shared a little bit more equally, because everything's going to come through the CPU no matter what anybody wants to say. The CPU is the brains of the operation. So it's going to delegate the workload out. So as it comes in, it's going to feed it to, the mining software to the GPU, and it's going to be hit up in a process like that. And the more disconnect you have from the workloads being shared, the more latencies that you're going to start introducing. Not only if you are trying to connect with a server that's too far away, but if your CPU and your GPU have too high of a latency while communicating with each other, you're going to have the same thing. Because what they have there is that during a game mode, you'll start, the game will kind of download, it'll render, and the CPU will wait. And at this point, the GPU will do its GPU render, and then it flips and then goes on the screen, right? Where a GPU mining software is going to have, instead of flipping and going out the screen, it's going to sit there and present return. So it's going to go through the wait process on the CPU. The CPU is waiting for the GPU to go, okay, I'm done, we're good to go. This was my output. And that's what's presented as a return. So the software itself should be able to capture mining relationships between CPU and GPU. And if I've got some time tomorrow, I'm going to hunt down the software and I am going to put it onto my test bench, and we're gonna play. I'm gonna play around with it and see if it's useful in the mining community. If it is, I will let you guys know. 100%. I know it's more technical stuff, but I like data in it, and I cannot lie. You know. Oh, the screen's getting so bright over there. And we get to sit there and dog on one little thing here. So the AMD Pro W7600, which is supposed to be a workstation card, has horrible thermals on there. Black screens with the Radeon Pro could be fixed with repasting and adding thinner thermal pads so that the cold plate makes better contact. AMD just has not learned their lesson from like the Radeon 7, especially like on the blower card, the Lisa Sue edition, and that the backplate needed to be milled just a little more to get that cold plate to sandwich down onto the VGA core and actually do its job a little bit more efficiently, especially when they've got a thinner cold plate, thinner amount of cooling fins, and it's made to be in a server case. It's like they should have like tested this out, torture tested this, and saw that this was an issue before they released it. It's like, oh, so irritating, so irritating. So for this one, they get a thumbs down on that one. You know, this should have been quality control. Should have caught this one. This is like one of those like easy alley oops. You know, you're like, hey, we're just gonna run this benchmark on here for like 20 minutes to see what happens. You know, see if a capacitor falls off. I mean, when you got hot spots on there as high as like 79C in the VRM power circuit, you know there's a problem. On the memory block side of it was a lot cooler at 66.75C. Not too bad for memory block 3. Memory block 2 is at 77.79. And as it got closer to the VRMs, the hotter the whole board got because it did not have good enough pressure. And basically the GPU is going to be wicking its heat out either through the PCB or through the cooler. One way or another, it's going to be like, it'll melt itself to death until it hits the thermal limit on there, if it does. And that's where usually you'll see a black screen. And whenever you get that, unfortunately, you run a real bad case of, did it get hot enough to kind of loosen up any of the solder balls underneath the VGA core and render this thing not so much garbage, but needing a repair because it needs to be reflowed back on there. Kind of an irritating situation if you're going to spend the money to actually get a Radeon Pro W7600. That you got to initially open those things up and actually like just redo thermals on there immediately. Not what I want to do if I was paying for a workstation card. Just saying. Oh. And guys, how many of you, as of right now, are actually mining at a profit? I mean, FA in the chat if you are, you know. I've been CPU mining for a little while now. Just because I'm trying to save up some money right now. Get some of my credit cards paid down. And then once I got that paid down, planning on basically turning on a Bitcoin ASIC at least. Got the power for it. Why not, right? I know Mikkel's gonna be. It's like John Germain, no GPU mining. Yeah, neither am I. I'm not really GPU mining either. Is anybody still GPU mining here? FA in the chat if you are still GPU mining. While you're doing that, definitely smash that Lizzie like button, fellas. Yo! Like, I'm almost to 100 million friend coin. Nice. Sadie FA. John, they raised my electric rate. Damn. Damn, that sucks. I mean, if you think about it, if you have if anybody was like baller and had lots of money to burn on a GPU and you grabbed yourself a 4090, you'd be mining. If you were paying like 12 cents per kilowatt hour all in, that's after taxes, everything. 12 cents a kilowatt hour, you'd be making 72 cents a day. I mean, it's not horrible, but if you spent, you know, $1,500, $2,000 on a card, you'd be hoping you'd be making $1 or $2 off the card. The profitability in the marketplace right now is just really slim pickings at best. You're fighting over pennies at this point, because like nothing is making over 75 cents a day at 12 cents a kilowatt hour. Your revenue might be $1.21, and you can look at that and just be like, oh, I'm paying my electric bill. That's fine. But after you pay your electric bill, your true profits after paying the electric would be 72 cents. And it just goes right down the list. How old of equipment do you guys have? You know, I've got a 1660 Ti. Let's see here. That's not too far back, right? Let's see here. That's a 1660. Where's the Ti? Here we go. A 1660 Ti on Dynex would be making 2 cents a day after electric. Of course. And if I'm going to be but I've got to look at the electric bill that I've got to pay. So out of that yield, the yield has to be able to pay for the power. And that's where I don't look at it from the ideology of, oh, I'm going to profit in fiat. I'm going to be able to purchase 2 cents worth of Bitcoin after paying electric. You know, I'm going to be able to buy 5 cents of Bitcoin after I pay the electric with a 3070 Ti a day. Yeah, oh yeah, the 1660 Ti makes very small amount of profit. It's like spec mining, day job pays that. It's like gambling for the win. Oh yeah, I mean, It depends on how you're mining. And the problem is I've got enough equipment that basically what would end up happening is I'd have like I'd have like a little over a $2,000 a month electric bill if I were to try to run everything. And it's got to be worth it to be spending off that much, because it's like I'm not going to be wanting to take half of what I make every month or more and be spending in electric. No. Like the 3070, A2000, A4000 suck electricity, and even at a profit, it's cost. Yeah, exactly. It's like way too much to run. Yeah, I've got a ton to run. I mean, you're talking I've got like somewhere around 90 GPUs plus 4 Bitcoin A6, 6 or 7 Bitcoin A6. I've got some Litecoin A6. I've got some Ethereum Classic A6. It's like, yeah, I've got, it's like I probably can utilize 200 amps easy by myself. I'd be like between 200 and 400 amps if I were to plug everything in. Like, we got to be in a mega bull run for me to want to freaking be like, yeah, let me go ahead and turn everything on. Give me a moment here, guys. Like, well, I got everything off. I should be making videos and with me cleaning everything. I mean, that's just like super easy videos to do. And I got a nice camera to be able to do it with too. Ideas. Tech man got new solar contacts. Hope install soon. Nice, nice, nice. Like, God, I got some 1070 Ti's. How much Bitcoin would I have if I were to use that to pay my electric? Damn. I'd be in the hole 5 cents a day. That's not good. That's negative yield. Let's see here. 1080 Ti, you'd be losing almost 10 cents a day with that. It's like I'm still running 8 gold shells. I've got 2, and I was doing Airbnb mining with them. Well, they were the gold shell mini doges. They work really good if you're at an Airbnb. Not mining advice, guys. Not mining advice. Just saying. Damn, that's so sad to see that the 1080 Ti is so deep into negative territory. Wow. The NVIDIA P102-100's losing you 12 cents a day. Damn. Oh my gosh. People who paid for the CMP 70HXs and they're already out of fashion. Oh yeah, I know. You can dial them back for some really good efficiencies and stuff, but you know, like you're going to be able to put more onto your circuit, which will allow you to have a little bit more density, but it depends on how much you're running and how much you got to use your equipment to pay for the electric bill. And then and then having whatever's left. You know, it's like I run a ton of stuff. If I was running just a few things like I am now, it's not a big deal with spec mining. You know, spec mining's a lot easier at a really small scale. And that's what the spec mining is all about. It's for the small time miner, you know, looking for a little profit, gambling around, you know, fooling around here and there with this project or that project. But you know, knowing that you might have just lost the money that you put out for the electric. You know, I did it with Bitcoin private. You know, it's like I still have 50 Bitcoin private that's worthless. It's like, good God. Like I run AMD CPU only. My 36 thread Intel CPU, everything else at a loss when CPU mining. Yeah, I was able to get some profits with CPU mining, you know, kind of playing around with this, that, and the other. Because it's such low wattage, it doesn't even matter to me. I mean, whenever your electric bill is no more than $300, it's like whatever, you know. Yeah, with the wife sitting there going, when you've paid thousands of dollars for electric, a $300 electric bill is like, I'm still under $300. I could probably turn some GPUs on at this point. So we are at that 1 hour mark, guys. You guys got any comments or questions before we head up out of here? I know Mikkel is still kind of MIA after being sprayed on by the kid burping. It's like you feed him and then he burps it back up. It's like, and you're like, damn, I won the wrong prize. The AC, man, I don't use AC, man. No AC. I stopped using AC on my rigs like first few months. Once I went beyond 1,000, like I went into the mining room and I had a 1,000-watt window AC unit in there. And I went in there and I thought the AC unit was off. And I walked over by it and I'm like, nope, it's blowing cold air. I'm like, this room is still 90 degrees. I'm like, this AC's not doing nothing. I get my electric bill and I'm like, yeah, we're going to figure something else out. And that's when I figured out how to calculate for airflow in the room itself. So figured all that stuff out, got the right airflow in there, and I was able to keep the mining room at the same temperature as outside. And if you can do that, you're good to go. Basically, I was exchanging all the air in that room about 149 times an hour. So, moving air can't overheat your GPUs. Fun fact. If you start getting above what the outside temperature is, you have to start looking at, okay, are you having any hot pockets with it? Because as long as you are under the temperature of the GPU, you can still mine. So just because your room may be 140 degrees doesn't mean that they can't be mining. As long as you got a viable amount of airflow and you've got no hot pockets, you can still go, dude. It's not ideal, but it's still very much doable. I experimented with all this stuff in a little bedroom with 3 windows, and figured out how to do airflow, and it's taught me a lot because like I've been able to keep my house at a good temperature, no AC other than in the bedroom because that room is like it's like a furnace in there, so you can't get any air circulation in there, right? It just sucks. But everything else I get a good airflow on, and the house has been nice. And I still do that same principle with the rigs. If I've got to shut the doors, I got to shut the doors, but I shouldn't have to. I'll just suck everything right on out. Since I'm not using any AC in the house anymore, other than the bedroom. Right, and that's only at night. That's so it's like saving all that money. Buy more Bitcoin. Just saying. Like, sounds kinky. It can be tech, man. I'm just saying. So does anybody have any other comments or questions before I get up out of here? I see ya in Discord for sure, my dude. So if nobody has any other comments or questions, certainly put some FAs in the Chizity chat. Come on, guys. Drop those FAs in the Chizity chat. You guys know what to do. Oh, yeah. Drop those FAs because you guys are rated F. For fucking awesome. Yo, that's right, guys. You are all rated F, dude. Yo. Come on, guys. Drop those FAs. There's 5 people. There should be 5 people dropping FAs in the Chizity chat. Don't be afraid. We got 2 out of the 5. There we go. We got a whole bunch. We're filling up this screen now of FAs. Thank you, Techman and John Jermaine. Oh, we got Flying Brian too. Yo, what up, my dude? Dropping those FAs. You're coming in right at the end, my dude. Like lurking while working, brothers. Yo, for sure. That's why we love you, Tech Man. Always showing the love. So, thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Smash that Lizzie like button. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification. All that good stuff. You guys are an awesome, amazing community. Glad to be a part of it. And with that being said, peace out. Stay savage. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Yo.